Welcome to PoDCAST, the podcast that takes you on a ride through the realities of everyday life in the Philippines. Hello, everyone. I am Ashley.
And I'm Ari. Today we are putting the spotlight on one of the biggest daily struggles for Filipinos, which is traffic. With hours wasted on the road, frustrations building, and solutions seeming far off, it is time we take a closer look into this problem. This episode aligns with Sustainable Development Goal 11, advocating for sustainable cities and communities. Our advocacy is called From Struggle to Stability, a call for safe and efficient public transport in Davao City. Every day, countless commuters endure long waits, overcrowded vehicles, and unsafe conditions. It is time to push for public transport that is not only accessible but also safe and efficient for everyone. So, buckle up because this is going to be one bumpy but insightful ride.
That's right. So, without any further ado, here we have Adi. Hi, Adi. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
We're so glad to have you here today. So, Adi, tell us, how does traffic impact your daily life as a student here in the Philippines? And what do you think are the biggest causes of heavy traffic in cities?
As a student, the traffic here in the Philippines is not new. I have some friends who are often late to their classes because of how unpredictable and heavy the traffic can be, especially for those of us who don't have private transportation.
I actually agree with you, Adi. I've been late as well for a few times because of heavy traffic, and it's so frustrating. Every time I drive, I feel like, I'm constantly hitting the brakes, stopping, and starting all over again. It's really exhausting, and honestly, it makes the whole commute feel even longer.
To be honest, I actually missed one important quiz because the traffic in my part of the city was unbelievably heavy. I left home early thinking I had more than enough time to make it, but I ended up sitting in a jam for over an hour. It was so frustrating to watch my watch tick by while I was stuck, completely helpless.
We also deal with a lot of pollution from vehicle engines, mainly jeepneys since their engines aren't modernized. This issue doesn't just affect people's physical health or commuters like you guys and drivers, it also harms our environment.
That's actually true. I've also noticed that when I ride public transportation, the air quality is really bad, especially in traffic heavy areas like mine. So, would you say pollution is just as a big of an issue as congestion?
Yes, and one of the biggest causes of heavy traffic in cities is the overpopulation of jeepneys. There are so many jeepneys on the road that it sometimes slows down private vehicles too. I think if we increase the numbers of jeepneys, we should also widen the roads, especially in cramped areas. This is a major reason why traffic is so heavy and suffocating.
That makes a lot of sense. Have you ever been late to school because of traffic?
Oh, definitely. I try to leave early, but sometimes even that is not enough.
I think us and many of our listeners can relate to that. And you also mentioned inefficient public transport as a cause of traffic. Can you explain more about that?
Sure. A big problem is that jeepneys and buses don't have organized pickup and drop off points. Instead of stopping in designated areas, they pick up passengers anywhere, which blocks traffic and slows everything down. If we want to fix this, we need to construct better roads, organize public transport, and regulate the number of vehicles like jeepneys.
That's a great point, Addy. Now, let's talk about solutions. How do we ease traffic congestion, particularly in Davao City? Our next speaker, Braille, will shed a light on this. But first, how are you doing, Braille?
I'm good. Thanks, Ari.
That's good to hear. So, how do we actually ease traffic congestion, Braille?
Davao City has been growing rapidly. With growth comes traffic. One solution is improving road infrastructure. Projects like widening roads, building bypasses, and enforcing traffic rules can go a long way.
Mm. So, speaking of enforcing traffic rules, have you ever experienced a situation where traffic was really bad because, people weren't following rules?
Yes, one time I was on a jeepney and a driver kept stopping in the middle of the road to pick up passengers. It caused a long line of cars to pile up behind us. If there were stricter rules, that wouldn't happen as often.
That's really frustrating. But other than stricter rules, what else can be done?
Another approach is promoting carpooling and improving public transport. If more people shift from private vehicles to buses or jeepneys, it could reduce the number of cars on the road. Implementing smart traffic systems can also help manage the flow more efficiently.
Wow, that is actually indeed a solid plan, but with all the talk about modernization, Adi, are there any alternatives to improving public transportation without even replacing our traditional jeepneys?
Yes, one of the best ways to improve public transportation without replacing traditional jeepneys is to widen roads and control the number of public transport vehicles. This can help prevent congestion caused by jeepneys stopping anywhere to pick up and drop off passengers.
That sounds practical. But do you think that only widening roads is enough?
Well, not on its own. We also need better traffic management and the full cooperation of the people. If we sort stations properly and ensure that jeepneys and buses have designated stops, traffic will flow more smoothly.
That brings us to a crucial point. Braille, can you enlighten us on how jeepney modernization impact drivers, passengers, and our environment?
Of course, jeepney modernization impacts drivers by requiring them to transition to newer, more expensive vehicles, which can lead to significant financial challenges for small operators. Many drivers who rely on older jeepneys may struggle to afford the higher upfront cost of these modern units, and the transition may also mean losing income during the switch or dealing with high loan interest.
That's actually really tough. So, you're saying that for drivers, modernization is more of a financial burden than a benefit. But what about the commuters?
Well, yes, for many of them, but for passengers, Modernization means safer, cleaner, and more comfortable rides. The newer vehicles are designed to be more eco-friendly, reducing harmful emissions and contributing to better air quality. This change not only improves the travel experience but also helps fight pollution in our cities.
You know what? That is a big advantage. But do you think there is a way to modernize while still supporting jeepney drivers?
Yes. The government should provide financial aid and better payment schemes to help drivers afford modern vehicles without pushing them into debt.
Before we wrap up, let us not forget the voices of the community. Many commuters express concerns about fare hikes that could result from modernization. Increased operating costs might mean higher fares, which could burden daily commuters.
That is true, Ari. On the other hand, some passengers believe the benefit overweight the costs, as safer and more comfortable rides can justify the price. However, it is essential to find a balance where modernization does not alienate either the drivers or the passengers.
Exactly. Ensuring transparency in fare adjustments and providing subsidies or discounts for students, seniors, and low income commuters could help make modernization inclusive.
That is right. And that wraps up today's Para podcast. We've explored how traffic affects our daily lives, the major causes of congestion and possible solutions to improve transportation in Davao City. From finding ways to modernize without losing tradition to making commuting more efficient, it's clear that addressing traffic isn't really simple, but it is possible.
To truly ease congestion, we recommend improving road infrastructure, enforcing traffic rules more strictly, and enhancing public transport systems without leaving drivers behind. At the same time, as commuters, we can do our part by following road regulations and supporting sustainable transport options.
At the end of the day, better transportation benefits everyone. Let's work together to make our roads safer, our commutes even smoother, and our city more accessible for all. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, this is Ashley.
And this is Ari.
This is Para Podcast. God bless you all. Goodbye.
Bye!